All right. Day 2 of sitting down with Ka, paying respects. And this morning I was thinking, we're coming up on Christmas, and today my family, we're going to have our little home Christmas before we go to the in-laws and stuff. And I was thinking it's sad, knowing, this person has died. And anyone, not specifically to Ka, but anybody who's rolling into the holidays and, maybe they've lost someone this year or who knows what, right? And it makes me appreciate what I have, which is wonderful. But then also, too, when it comes to Ka specifically, I thought, this doesn't have to be all sad. Like I want to share, my condolences with his family, of course. But at the same time, sitting down and listening to his music doesn't have to be all, ooh, it's so sad he's gone, which is true. It is sad that he's gone, but it can still be a celebration, right? A celebration of his music. So it just kind of clicked into my brain, honestly, about 2 minutes ago. I was sitting here this morning getting set up and just kind of kicking back before I started. And he made great music. So let's enjoy the music. Yesterday I sat down with Descendants of Cain. That video ran about 2 hours for a 30-something minute album. I expect the same thing. If you're watching on YouTube, this will probably be uncut. I was able to post Descendants of Cain uncut. There were no restrictions on the music. So I'll try and do the same thing today. There are 2 music videos. I'll do those at the end. I'll still keep that for Patreon only, just as like a perk for Patreon. But hopefully I can post this one uncut as well. No, and I won't monetize it. Although YouTube still shoves ads in, so it doesn't really matter, I suppose. But just try to make it as an enjoyable experience as possible. So this is The Thief Next to Jesus. This came out September. Ka died in October, so this was right before he came out. Right before he came out. Or right before he passed away. I'm sorry. Mixing up my phrases there. My mind is already wandering all over the place. Let's just drop in. I'm curious to see what he has to say. One thing that is sad is, he died at 52, which is far too young. Far too young for anybody to die. And when it comes to a final album, I always hope that with an artist or group or whatever, I always hope that they can go into the final album knowing it's the final album. It seems pretty rare. It seems like that doesn't happen too often. It seems like either bands just kind of fall apart, or for whatever reason they never get around to that final album, or who knows why. But that's something that J. Cole is doing that I really appreciate. He's essentially purposely, intentionally wrapping up his career and doing it in a way that he wants to, which is that's great. I think that's so important. So I talk about that to say I don't expect that Ka knew this was his last album, be going at music for a while, making a lot of albums. So anyway, that's just something that's in my mind. The Thief Next to Jesus is an interesting title. The cover is pretty intense. All the nails. All those nails. Obviously with the crucifixion, Jesus was crucified, and then there were 2 other people there that crucified with him. I don't recall. They were associated, right? Sams. Oh, she's not paying attention. She's got her earbuds in. I don't think they had any association with Jesus. My Bible knowledge is pretty rusty. It's been a while since I've read any of that. It's been a while since I've believed any of that. For those of you who are unaware, used to be Christian. God, about 15 years ago, I stopped being and shifted more to a Buddhist point of view. But The Thief Next to Jesus. Interesting title. Let's drop in. First track is called Bread, Wine, Body, Blood. It's produced by Ka. Track 1 of The Thief Next to Jesus. Here we go.
My brothers and sisters, if you would allow me tonight, I would like for you to focus your attention.
Focus your attention on the verse.
Want to touch on some points, man, bother me, with the culture a little bit, man. Remember, this is magic, man. This is true magic, this music, man. You gotta watch what you feed the kids, man. Yo, it's money this, money that. All that shit dummy rap. Should get the people money back. Habs got them strung up, never sung them fact. keep them dumb. Sprung up in that youngin' trap. Was logging
Wow.
cutting family trees, they just a lumberjack. Ever notice there's never no fix, only drunk and crack. Ain't writing gems, get tight with ends, then they run it back. Nah, Pete, why they call it heat, it's just a running track. Let's drink this, smoke that. Shit so whack, giving booth, no percent of living proof. You get no doubt. I had to tell you, that's on
Pretty
the path
good
to
beat,
failure,
honestly,
roadmap.
too.
It ain't the way to no goals, it's a chokehold, slow tap. The gist of this is to keep submissive and broke rap. Another poison message you holding precious cause you toe tap.
Wow.
Lane flaws till the brain lost from the growing plaque. To say it's safe and play the eighth can't replace what your soul lack. It's a shared struggle that we all go
Wow.
through. Don't be the weapon they use to harm you, man. It's a shared struggle that we all go through. Don't be the weapon they use to harm you. Then it's pussy this, ass that. All that shit trash rap. Started as empowerment. I'm feeling now it's past that. Yes, I'm with sexual expression if any try and lash back. But this proper prostitution, always asking where the cash at. Sure you selling me melody, you keep telling me your ass fat. Oh, you just a succubus, wanna suck us till the stash tap. Don't get it twist, I like a pretty
shit.
miss with a vast
Holy
gap.
shit.
It's a crazy world, don't put our baby girls on the fast track. Then it's gun this, gang that, son the most profane rap. It's just a lot of bored noise, I got our boys laying flat. Still a must, stop killing us, should be the main pack.
Wow.
For our mother's good, choose brotherhood. Bang that, had enough for every tussle, seeing muscles where the brains at. You want hurt? Those that do us dirt should be the aim black. FBI and clan killed your leaders, when y'all gon' pay them back. But that's how we moved and I'm smooth, y'all can stay intact. It's the shared struggle that we all go through. Don't be the weapon they use to harm you, man. It's the shared struggle that we all go through. Don't be the weapon they use to harm you.
If you listen to what black people are singing religiously, it is a clue as to what is happening to them sociologically. Our music mirrors what is happening to us.
Wow. Wow. Something. This doesn't matter, but I was like, I got to put on Fire Jam today because both the fire of his pen and the fires that he used to fight. I was like, that's very appropriate. I'll wear this tomorrow too. Something I appreciate about this is that he's not. His delivery, his voice, his tone is not like, it doesn't sound bitter, you know? Because I feel like if it sounded bitter, if it sounded like there was a hint of jealousy, if it sounded anything in that realm, then people could it'd be very easy for people to dismiss this because, you're just mad because you didn't blow up and you're just mad because people don't like, that kind of a thing. But instead, the way it's delivered is very, almost like bored, tired. Ugh. And which makes me connect with the song so well. Because even though I've spent a lot of time now, I think I'm almost up to, I haven't done a count, but I'm close to 200 albums sat down with reactions to for hip hop. And I understand that hip hop is a culture as much as it is music, if not more so a culture than music. But there are parts of hip hop culture I don't like, you know? And I'm not saying they're right or wrong. I'm just saying I don't like them. Like a lot of the flash and putting stuff on display and look at how much money I have and shit. I hate that kind of shit. Like I don't want anybody to know how much money I have. I don't like leaving my garage open. Like anytime I drive down through the neighborhood and, and I see somebody in their garage and they're just got the garage open, I'm like, why do you want to show anybody what you have? Like I basically, I've never been robbed before, but I very much lived my life trying to minimize the chance that would happen. And there's other things, but there's just certain things of hip hop that, I don't like it. I don't like it. And I think I don't want to necessarily say it's a bad influence, because people seem to get all cranky when you imply that music influences people, even though I think there is some truth to that. I don't know how much. I've listened to a lot of crazy shit, and it's never made me crazy. But when things are consistently perpetuated over and over and over and over again, and almost to an extent where If you don't do that, then you don't fit into the culture. There's truth in that it does influence what people think and how they think they're supposed to behave and how they think they're supposed to possibly dress or whatever. And that's not specific to hip hop. That's just societies. That's communities. That's cultures. That's everything. If you are not wearing the clothes that people normally wear, you're going to stand out. You're going to feel odd. All that kind of stuff, right? He came in with some fire here. Money this, money that, all that shit. Dummy rap. Should give them people money back. Oh, shit. Which log be cutting family trees? They just a lumberjack. I don't get that one. It's okay. Ever notice it's never no fix, only brung them crack. Ain't right gems, but with tight ends, they run it back. Now I peep what they call heat. It's just a running track. Then it drinks this, smoke that shit so whack. I feel like MF Doom would have loved this song. MF Doom would have loved this song. I need food. You know? That was basically the whole concept behind the album. Food. This was a good line right through here too. Another poison message. You're holding precious because your toe tapped. That's how a lame floss till the brain loss from the growing plaque. How a lame floss till the brain loss from the growing plaque. And I can't really fully explain that, but obviously a play on words with the idea of flossing. Let's click the annotation. Let's click it because someone's going to explain it better than I can right now. College draws the analogy between the recurring thing of substance abuse trope and dental hygiene, bragging about what you drink, smoke as a way to floss that causes brain loss, either by demonstrating a lack of thought or causing mental illness, brain damage. Poor dental flossing can contribute to the buildup of plaque, of course, which has been linked to dementia. Oh, no shit. I didn't know that. The buildup of plaque has been linked to dementia. Interesting. Amyloid plaques and arterial plaque in the brain are also linked to Alzheimer and strokes. Huh. Hard to imagine anyone but Ka coming up with this kind of wordplay. Rest in power. Good annotation. I had no idea about that with plaque and dementia. Huh. And then it's pussy this, ass that, all that shit. Trash rap. What started as empowerment, I'm feeling now it's past that. And I think that's a fair point to that too. You know, I'm all for people expressing themselves. I'm very much a my body, my choice type of person. I'm not going to tell anybody else what they can or cannot do with their body because no one's telling me what I can or cannot do with my body. And so some people are, you know, they're very open and they're very free and more power to them. I hope it's done in an appropriate setting, you know, not fucking Disneyland or something like that. Yes, I'm with sexual expression if anyone trying to lash back, but this proper prostitution always asks us where the cash at. You sure you're selling me melody? You keep telling me your ass fat, or you just a succubus want to suck us till the stash tapped. Ha. Then it's gun this, gang that, son, the most profane rap. It's just a lot of bored noise that got our boys laying flat. This last section was really good. Still a must. Stop killing us should be the main pact. For our mother's good. Choose brotherhood, bang that. Yeah. Had enough of every tussle, seeing muscles. Where's the brains at? You want to hurt those that do us dirt should be the aim. Black. FBI and Klan kills your leaders. When y'all gonna pay them back? That line right there was amazing. Like, violence and all that other shit, but I mean, it's just a great point, great question of when are you going to actually kill the people who are actually really, really, really doing the work to kill you, you know? And I understand there's a different scale, right? Like if somebody fucking kills your cousin in the neighborhood you live in, you're going to try and kill them because that's a very localized thing. But God, can you imagine? Can you just imagine what would happen in this country if gangs stopped killing each other and started joining up and going after the people who were creating policy and enforcing rules? People talk about Civil War every now and then. That would be a hell of a Civil War right there. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that at all. Let's move on to track 2. It's called Beautiful, produced by Ka. Let's see where this album goes. Pretty fire beginning right there.
Beautiful, he'll make your life. He'll make your life.
May you live a nice long life, hope it's. May you live a nice long life, hope it's. If they sling mud, but you bring love, that's. How the K be coming, trying to get a baby something. Abundant, ugly in this world, I come to make it. Your heart's a ruin if the part you're doing ain't. I ignore the cue till I'm sure the root is. Peace in my core, found nothing more. Lived a few scores till I truly saw.
I like that he's using this sample.
You see they flaws and they still. May you live a nice
I like the little.
life, hope it's.
That was good. The organ right there. That's
May
great.
you live a nice long life, hope it. Giving back to the poor, that's what you call. Some are gorgeous, but they in the quarters ain't. When I part, they grieve, pray to Mark I leave. Can end quick, treasure friendship, cause it's. I know that evil cause I lost some people that were free of doubt and tears,
Wow.
1,000 years. Intuition knows without vision always. Took a toll on my body, but the soul probably. May you live a nice long life, hope it's. May you live a
This
nice
is almost
long
like-
life, hope it's.
It's almost like a cross between a meditation and a hymn or a
Treat you
prayer.
with the same respect you seeking is. Deeper speaking, need to be a beacon that's. In the darkest night, little starlighters.
Yeah.
If you come and listen, what your one description to be. You deceiving poison if you keep avoiding. It's been an awful ride, but still I fought the sorry. Toy with wicked and destroy that which is. May you live a nice long life, hope it's.
I love the little kind of screwing around with the organ.
Long life, hope it's. If you gain blood, hope you gain love. And may you live a nice long life, hope it's.
He sure will make it. Oh, he'll make it. Oh, he'll make it.
The Virginia.
I love that it just dumps right into the next one too. God, there's something there's something kind of special about this one because it's different from his normal style in that it's very straightforward. There's some double meaning in here, of course, but this is very straightforward. And because of that, because it's written just so clearly and plainly, it totally shifts how it feels in terms of what he's doing. It feels like something, like I said, a meditative trance, prayer, hymn type thing. It kind of comes off as like a prayer. Let's go through some of these lines. They sling mud, but you bring love. That's beautiful. How the K becoming? I don't understand the K. How the K becoming karma? Okay, the idea. Okay. So I'll read the K portion of this annotation. It's kind of long. K equals karma. The idea here is that what goes around comes around. If you put out good energy and try to make the world a beautiful place, that beauty will come back to you in some form. It's like trying to give a baby, which could represent a new start, fresh, something beautiful. You're planting seeds of positivity, and that effort, that intention. Yeah. I, strangely enough, even though I mostly like a Buddhist point of view in my beliefs, I don't believe in karma. I don't believe in karma. I do believe in the idea of you'll kind of get back what you give, which is like karma adjacent, you know? And I do believe that there's a lot of value in trying to bring something positive into the world rather than negative. But the whole karma thing, like, there's some awful people out there that have done awful, awful things and have just been rewarded and rewarded and rewarded because of it. And no punishment, no circumstances. They're just very wealthy, very powerful, pretty much get to do what they want. And, I don't, maybe karma has found them in different ways that I'm unaware of, like, emotional or who knows what, right? But this idea that everything will balance out based off of what you put into the universe, no, I don't really agree with that. It's a nice idea. I wish it were true, but I don't really buy into it. Abundant, ugly in this world, I come and make it beautiful. Your heart's a ruin if the parts you're doing ain't beautiful. I think there's truth in that. I ignore the cute till I'm sure the root is beautiful. That's a great line right there. Somebody could be cute, but that doesn't mean they're a beautiful person inside. The core of that person. Yes, they can be attractive. Yes, they can be all these things, but the core of the person is the most important part. Peace in my core, found nothing more beautiful. Lived a few scores till actually saw beautiful. I love this line too. It's pure when you see their flaws and they're still beautiful. Love that. Let's see. There were a couple other here. Free of doubt and tears. Leave 1,000 years. Beautiful. Took a toll on my body, but the soul probably beautiful. That's an interesting line right there. That's an interesting one. He was 52 when he passed, so 52 when this came out, probably 50, 51, 52 when he wrote this. Who knows, right? But in that age. As you get older, the body starts to creak and groan and like, oh, I have been a little rough on you, body, haven't I? I apologize. Tell the last in born instead of blasting arms. Tell the last in born instead of blasting arms. I don't get that one. Treating with the same respect you're seeking is beautiful. Yes. Deeper speaking need to be a beacon. That's beautiful. Oh, this was the one I really, really liked. In the darkest night, little starlight is beautiful. I love that one. Specifically because, to me, it emphasizes the idea that even just a little bit of positivity makes things better. You don't have to change the world. You don't have to change someone's life. You can just make 5 minutes of their day better. That matters. It matters. I mean, imagine you go into some store or something like, and the person working there is having this shitty day, and you can tell, and maybe something breaks, and you hey, it's okay. Hey, this ain't your fault. I got nowhere to be. Take your time. If you need help, get help. It's fine. And sometimes that's all a person needs, is knowing the other person just isn't going to yell at them. Sometimes it really is that simple. It's crazy. It's sad that our society has gotten to that point where people are so strung out and so rushed and so strained and stressed that just someone not yelling at them for 5 minutes matters, helps. So I love that line. In the darkest night, little starlight is beautiful. Beautiful. Also, too, I like going out in the desert, and we'll camp out there at night, and sometimes it's really dark, and you can see some faint stars, and it is beautiful. Good song. If it's even a song. I mean, it's like a mental state more than a song. I mean, that's something you can just put on in your car and just kind of like recite to yourself, Great one. Okay, let's move on to track 3, which is called Tested Testimony. Yeah, I actually said it right and thought I was screwing it up. Here we go. Produced by Ka, track 3.
The Virginia Assembly in 1664 decreed that it was indeed possible for Africans to be both enslaved and
Both
Christian.
enslaved.
Keep it spinning.
That's
Getting older, dealing with aches and pains, breaks and strains. Things I once did with ease ain't the same.
Yeah.
Hold my stake in it while they trying to stake they claim. Okay, adapt, turn way back, great they complain. Never just alone for the ride, I take the reins. Up in the jams, giving commands, can't wait to explain. You know money in my safe, took the safest lane. It's carved in their hearts, can't erase your name. Was blind and now I see state of the art. Only professions and vision, never cater to dark. Don't be so consumed in your goal, they don't save the start. Do whatever, stick together, never made it apart. Can't afford to have one way to the full through. Cause if one make it, we all do. Can't afford to have one
wow,
way
yeah.
to the
This
full
guy's
through.
great.
Cause if one make it, we all do. Those that muster like a mustard seed. 100 the best among the struggle with lust and greed. Agreed. When you give much, much is received. If ain't never life in crisis, I don't trust your lead. Did a lot of morning friends, ain't make it overnight. We're too stressed, no fool left, it's hard to know what's right. Sense from attempts to cut us down, we grew out of spite. Past to our last resort, show might. For me, it ain't just where I'm at, it's where I'm from. No old, still uphold some things since I was young. Every fellow plan, forget who stand on highest rung. Put Mars first, cause Earth can't live with a dying sun. Can't afford to have one way to the full through. Cause if one make it, we all do. Can't afford to have one way to the full through. Cause if one make it, we all do. Success is my committee, never all you. Never all you. Success is
Oh, I get it.
How did the African soul survive this dark day? By the power of spirituality.
Everybody talking about heaven ain't going there, see? Because they would say, how can you believe in God and do this to me?
Dude, it's kind of incredible because Ka is such a great writer. Clearly a spiritual man, clearly cares about his craft, his music, his culture, his people, everything. And he's, I've heard 2 albums now, so I don't want to act like I've heard everything and, all that other stuff. But like, after 2 albums, you get used to a person's style and you get familiar with what they write about and what they care about and focus on. And you think, okay, all right, yeah, I know what to expect. And then he comes through with shit like this, and you go, wow. It's not like, I don't want to sit here and say, oh, he's gotten so much better. I feel like his quality has been high across, Descendants of Cain and Honor Kill the Samurai are both excellent albums. But I feel like there's more impact here. And it's not even a thing from, it's not like I'm sitting about it thinking and going, oh, he recently passed. I said, no, there's just something else here. Getting older, dealing with aches and pains, breaks and strains, things I once did with ease ain't the same. Yep, fact. And being a firefighter, you don't see a lot of old firefighters, right? You start turning into a captain and stuff so that you are more in charge rather than going up and down the stairs and hauling all the stuff around, what have you. Pour my stake in it while they're trying to stake their claim. A cave that was heard way back. Grade A complain. I don't understand that line. I don't understand that one. I don't know. Never just along for the ride. I take the reins, finger jams, give them commands, can't wait to explain. I love this line. Ain't no money in my safe. Took the safest lane. That makes me very curious as to what kind of offers he turned down, what kind of advice he declined to take, all that kind of stuff. And no surprise, coming from a person who cares about the purity of the heart and, soul. Yeah, ain't no money in my safe. Took the safest lane. But he's got peace. He's got peace. I hope he has peace. I believe that he does. Once carved in their hearts, can't erase your name. Was blind and now I see state of the art. So that's a combination of, God, there's like a triple entendre almost right there. Was blind and now I see is oh God, what's that song? I know it. We'll sing it at Christmas Eve service coming up here in a couple nights. But seeing state of the art, you could say, talk about like, a very cutting edge television where you can see all these vivid colors, but also seeing the state of the art. Could be talking about hip hop. It's a good little play on words right there. Only provisions the vision, never cater to the dark. Though the circle so many adore, it don't save or start. Through whatever, stick together, never made it apart. I like that too. Stick together, never made it apart. If one make it, we all do. Stick together. Thoughts that mustard like a mustard seed. That's a good one too. And this is gonna be a biblical theme right here, right? Continue the biblical theme. Ka compares his thoughts to mustard seeds, which represent something insignificant that can carry immense significance in the Bible. In the Bible, they represent God's word. Specifically, arguably most important reference to a mustard seed in the Bible is Matthew 17:20, in which Jesus says, "Truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you." Also, the term mustard, like if that's kind of a military term. If you muster, that means you all gather up together at a point, kind of like. So if your thoughts are mustered like a mustard seed, they're all gathered together at one point. 100, the best among you struggle with lust and greed. The best among you struggle with lust and greed. The best among you. Agreed, when you give much, much is received. If ain't living life in crisis, I don't trust your need. That's an interesting line too. Did a lot of morning, friends ain't make it overnight. I'm too stressed, no food left. It's hard to know what's right. No food left. I feel, I really am curious about that right there. I want to draw some association to MF Doom. Not specifically Doom, but just the concept of food. There's no food left, as in there's no, there's nothing being fed through this art form. Maybe, but who knows? Who knows? Since from attempts to cut us down, we grew out of spite, passed it on our last resort, sure we might. For me, it ain't just where I'm at, it's where I'm from. Grew old, still pulled some things since I was young. Put moms first, because Earth can't live with a dying sun. That's a great play on words right there, too, right? Mother Earth. The Earth will die if the sun dies. The sun in the sky dies, the Earth dies too. But moms die if their sons die. Fucking great, man. Let's keep going. Track 4 is called Borrowed Time. Produced by Ka. That's fantastic. There's something special happening in this one. There's like I can't quite put my tongue on it. It's just different from Honor Killed the Samurai. It's different from Descendants of Cain. Anyway, track 4, Borrowed Time.
Damn, I don't hear a strand of wisdom. It's smart, but they bark ain't art. That's vandalism. Free gun lands, we brung hands as ammunition. I plan my death before I plan submission. Can't exchange man condition, but one fan sufficient. Must assist, get it swift for the shift ban to listen. Some rights, Lord, you gotta fight for.
Cool
it,
beat.
you can't petition.
Cool production.
See his autobiography, advanced edition. Born where it's all abandoned. I saw a famine with grace faced the firing squad. This all canon. If only fit where the bitch said I'd be in poor standing. Nothing touched the bum rush. Trust me, all ran in. Walk with my head high. Talk for the villain best eye. Few friends I lost them too often, never said bye. Try to make peace with streets fashionable with let fly. Amused with truthful views, refuse to spread lie. Hope it's borrowed time when my time come.
I hope it's borrowed time.
I hope it's borrowed time when my time come. Dawn the cape, I'm not capable. Impatient had things taken, that's irreplaceable. Settled in perilous kid, never did what was safe to do. On wrong blocks, it's all long shots. Hope to make a few. Came through certain the mercy when I faced the new. May you cross no false prophets if your faith is true. We spoke to them at the podium, you know to take a pew. In this place, get erased, let you chase me, chase it's you. Don't harm the rise or compromise to make it sell. Had the luck, cause there's blood on every paper trail. Bring logic to every project, I hate to fail. The lab was a halfway house, they came straight from jail. This is mastery, almost at capacity. In God's name in vain, don't blame if they came blasphemy.
Blasphemy. Good way. Yeah, that was great. That was great.
Pictures in this tapestry. Hope it's bar time when my time come. I hope it's bar time when my time come. I hope it's bar time when my time come. Cause all my time wasn't kind, son. Bar time when my time come. Cause all my time wasn't kind, son. Hope it's bar time.
Religion is to bring mankind together, not to disperse mankind. So when you find something that we call religion is dividing and separating mankind, it's not religion. It's better not to have it.
What's going on with
This
that?
shit's like giving me chills. I looked up yesterday, and I mean I didn't search extensively, but as far as I could tell, the cause of death for Ka has never been released. And I don't want to intrude. I'm not gonna like speculate. Who knows? But the reason why I mention that is I don't know, man. There's something happening here where did he know? You know, like if he was sick or something. You know, cancer fucking killed a lot of people. And I said at the beginning, you know, this is his final album, and he probably didn't know this was his final album. I don't know. I mean, there's a power here. And this is something different. But I don't want to speculate. I want to be very basically this is going through my mind, but also I want to be very respectful. I don't want to speculate on anything like that because that's just inappropriate. I don't hear strand of wisdom. It's smart with a bark. Ain't art. That's vandalism. Fuck, man. The pre-gun lands, we brung hands as ammunition. I think that's talking about instead of, you know, you kind of like almost like Friday, right? Ice Cube's dead. You live to fight another day. You put your dukes up. You don't, you know, having a gun don't make you a man type of thing. I feel like that's what that's referencing, or not referencing, but that's what that means. I plan my death before I plan submission. Can't exchange man condition, but one fan sufficient. Let's click this. Okay, yeah. Must assist get a swift for the shift band to listen. Some rights, Lord, you got to fight for it. You can't petition. Yep. Was large. You see his autobiography, advanced edition. I'm all aware it's all abandoned. I saw famine. I feel like this is just kind of like another idea of music feeding the soul type of a thing in the art form. How it's all been abandoned. I saw famine. Maybe, I don't know. With Grace, Face the Firing Squad, it's all canon. So canon is like a significant lore event, but he's also using it as a word, you know, in terms of the Firing Squad. Let's click this annotation. It's all canon. Oh, maybe this annotation is just maybe there was a typo initially. It's been corrected, it looks like. If only fit where the rich sit, I'd be in poor standing. What a great line. If I only fit where the rich sit, I'd be in poor standing. I love that. That's excellent. Not touch the bum rush. Trust we all ran in. Walk with my head high. Talk for the Ville and Bed-Stuy. A few friends I lost them too often. Never said bye. Trying to make peace with the streets fashionable where lead fly. The news where truthful views refuse to spread lie. The news where truthful views. This chorus really just strikes me. Hope it's borrowed time when my time comes. I don't really understand that. I think the phrase living on borrowed time means Any moment we're gonna go. Like I probably should have died, but I'm still going, and this is all just borrowed time. Like I feel like should have never survived that car crash, or who knows what, right? Just that phrase in general. So for somebody to say, I hope it's borrowed time when my time comes, does he mean maybe that instead of dying, he'll just get a little bit more time? Maybe that's what he means. This next line's great too. Donna Cape, I'm not capable. I don't really know what he means by that, but it's a fun wordplay right there. I mean, maybe, Donna Cape kind of implies, a superhero, perhaps. I'm not capable. Maybe he has to feel like he has to turn into a superhero to make the change. Or we need a superhero. I don't know. But cool little line right there. Impatient, had things taken, that's irreplaceable. Settled in peril, this kid never did what was safe to do. On wrong blocks, it's all long shots. Hope to make a few. Came through certain of mercy when I faced the new. May you cross no false prophets if your faith is true. We spoke to them at the podium. You know to take a pew, so we can sit down at the pew. In this place, get erased lest you chase what chases you. Won't harm the riser, compromise to make a sale. Had to lug because there's blood on every paper trail. Had to lug because there's blood on every paper trail. I feel like I had to carry my own load type of a thing because I couldn't sign these contracts instead. I know he's very, very, very independent. And there was even a thing right before he died. He was talking about how on Twitter he had tweeted up this thing about he'd done like these vinyl pressings and sales, and he said it's just miserable because he had to do it all himself. So he's doing all the hard work himself. But because of that, obviously he's not signed to a contract. I feel like that's what that means. I don't know. This is mastery, almost at capacity. This was a great line. Take God's name in vain. Don't blame if they can't blasphemy. And it's written out blast for me, but he rolls it out as blasphemy, which is taking God's name in vain. Let's click this annotation and see. Okay, yeah, that's all it says. Let's keep going. This is fantastic. Track 5 is called Collection Plate. Producer's Ka. Drop it into track 5. This is incredible.
What's going on with that dynamic of prayer? Why are we amongst the most praising people, but yet we seem to be on the bottom of so many areas in society?
Took a while to get straight, we made it through the lean years. I still rap from having to tread where the green is. Verted taxes, all dirty acts, never clean biz. The battle scenes of having no means made us mean kids. Almost caught us, those was rough waters, the team bridge. Suffered damages, only mustard sandwiches, a scene fridge. Wish for bun in the oven, just not while loving my teen whiz. We'll pull a gun machine if you come between his.
Wow.
If really wanted to bless me, would've left me that collection plate. If really wanted to bless me, would've left me that collection plate. Afraid I prayed too quiet, couldn't hear. Was often obliged to say if I die today, I wouldn't care. What good is rare, you shouldn't stare. Worst happen to the best, never test, the hood is fair. Schemes of cooking up bread had us busy holding toast. By and large, knew I'd catch a charge before the Holy Ghost came streetwise where the heat rise, you know the coast. My brother swore to tuck a war,
dude,
I was showing the ropes. If I knew, I'd have been in the pew writing legit. Fuel could've really used that little bite and sip. In the past, going nowhere fast, every night was a trip. Sewer hoarded was suited for it, but never liking the fit. Learn to fight in the pit, you can't get loose, tighten your lip. I go hard when it's time to roll, guard and the tighten you pick.
Wow.
If really wanted to bless me, would've left me that collection plate. If really wanted to bless me, would've left me that collection plate. If really wanted to bless me, would've left me that collection plate.
Holy shit, man. Holy shit. That was incredible use of sample. And that song, man, the way it's almost like a confession. And to me it feels the reason why I feel like it comes off that way is it's almost like he's lashing back against the church. I mean, that line, if you really wanted to bless me, would have left me that collection plate. I need this fucking money. I'm suffering. Suffer damage. It's only mustard sandwiches. Mustard sandwiches. I can't even afford meat. It's just bread and mustard. That's all I've got. I need fucking money. That was a song off of Honor Killed the Samurai. I need money. You know, he's trying to, and that very, very, very different context there, because he's like wanting to do things and change things and improve things. I fucking needs money, right? Need money to do that. This is totally different. Especially to this line. Afraid I prayed too quiet. And it's very, very interesting. He just says couldn't hear. Doesn't really call out God specifically. Kind of leaves that out. But we're right next to it. We're right next to that. Afraid I prayed too quiet. Couldn't hear. So often obliged to say, if I die today, I wouldn't care. What good is... I don't understand this. What good is rear? You shouldn't stare. The only thing I can think of is like... I can see one meaning of like, you know, staring at somebody's butt. Their rear. But I feel like there's like maybe rearing a child. What good is rear? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Worst happens to best. Never test. The hood is fair. Schemes of cooking up bread had us busy holding toast. Good line. By and large, knew I'd catch a charge before the Holy Ghost. Wow, he's really like... I want to listen to that song again. That sample use, which was so good. It was like scary, like haunting. Condemning, almost. Ah, Jesus, man. My brother swore at a tug of war. I was shown the ropes. Good play on words right there. I wonder if this guy, if he had the ability to not write in double meanings. Like, everything he does is so double meaning. It gets to a point where I feel like his brain is almost hardwired that way. And like, no, just write a sentence without double meaning. And like, if it just, he can't. You know, that'd be funny. If I knew I'd have been in the pew writing legit, Fuel could have really used that little bite and a sip. I feel like a little bite and a... So with pew and a little bite and a sip, I feel like that's communion. You know, you get your little thing of wine and your little cracker, and and that can, you know, spiritual fuel type of a thing. But the rest of it, I can't really piece together. If I knew I'd have been in the pew writing legit, Fuel could have really used that little bite and a sip. Fuel could have really used that bite and a sip. Like maybe he was running out of... I don't know. It's an interesting one right there. In the past, going nowhere fast every night was a trip, which is great, right? Because going nowhere, but also using the word trip, you go on a trip. But also every night's a trip, meaning this place is wild, it's crazy, we're going nowhere. Shoehorned was suited for it, but never liking the fit. Another like double meaning, right? Because fit is, you know, you get like your outfit, you're being suited for it, you're hoarding shoes, but the shoe don't fit, meaning you're not comfortable. Like, it's just fucking this guy, man. This guy. I go hard when it's time to roll guard and then tighten your pick. That's got to be like a basketball reference. Wow, that song was incredible. Collection plate, man. Took a while to get straight, but made it through the lean years. I still ref from having to tread where the green is. Inverted tactics was all dirty acts, never clean bins. The battle scenes are having no means made us mean kids. Fuck, man. Let's keep going. That song was incredible. Just the production. the production, God, it adds so much to that one. Track 6, it's called Broken Rose Window, produced by Ka. Let's jump into track 6. This is, what a ride so far.
The church participated vigorously in the Underground Railroad. Former slaves who had assembled in the borough of Brooklyn who were provided food, clothing, and refuge.
Guitar.
I be finished in the gutter sauna. Every other corner was crack spots. Auntie spent a pretty penny. Got really skinny for no fat rocks. She clocked me at the bus, but never rushed, was touched a sad watch. Before you air the gun, don't forget where you from. Message to the black cops. Loud plot, steal or drive Hot Wheels, still living in the matchbox. When you bread brown, stay on defense, head down till the tax stops. These are dog back blocks, shorty, high woody mismatched socks. Still avoid chocolate sprinkles, looks too similar to where the rat drops. Man, they condemned his home to get only Cody only broke the padlocks. Few prostitutes on this toxic route. Late night, this way your dad shops. Not to complicate, I'm what you give him, consummate, slick cat and bad fox. And beef kept calm speech till an arm reach and the jab pops. Said it adamant, was never having it. We the have-nots.
Wow. I like the kind of hint of blues in here with the guitar.
Praise the Lord, born wretched. Crazy long drawn epic. Made the boy sworn skeptic. Phrases poised on record. We the have-nots. All I heard was no, can't have that. Put it back next time. Shit was often insufficient portion. Not until a coffin last time. Feel it's true. They want to kill a few and keep the rest blind. It was tough, so jumped on fire trucks, hoping the higher ups bless mine. I shared the story and effects. Was vexed and swore that we was hexed. The course delivered in this awful prison never afforded me to rest. From Stockton's poor, as you saw, was a lot to endure to see success. Feared only scenes of failure in my trailer, so wanted to be the best. This road long and arduous, either froze or exposed stronger part of us. From a section with weapons, it's definitely etched in the closing arguments. In this dirty seeds, can't see who's supposed to be here guarding us. This is more like a death sentence, if the intentions was to harden us. Too young having a starving lust, all it did was make it hard to trust. Been doomed to hatred, human nature ain't changed it, hope the gods adjust. Said it adamant, was never having it.
I love it.
I
like to say it one more time. If y'all
said it adamant, was never having it. We the have-nots.
Yeah, like it say like it don't matter how much you try to pray to God and junk like that, niggas still be in the same predicament. Like I could have prayed the other day, but we didn't have no food in the house, bro. I ain't wake up and want nothing in the house. See, bro, I ain't said that. I'm saying there ain't no point of it.
I think it's starting to kind of come through a little bit now. This intangible thing I've been talking about that I can't explain of what is making this so powerful. I think part of it is I feel like Ka is being very personal here. I feel like Ka in his own way is really opening up. And I feel silly saying that because I don't feel like he's ever been a closed off person to begin with. I feel like he's been pretty open and raw and to the point and honest in these previous albums I've listened to. This is like the inner chamber. There's doubt, there's conviction, which that's always an interesting combo when you have conviction and you believe in what you stand for and you have a little bit of doubt. Maybe the doubt's being born from where's the result I'm expecting to see? I haven't seen it. Why am I not being rewarded for this? You know? And again, this is all just always with the things that I say, giant asterisks that says maybe, okay? Because I don't know this man. I'm simply interpreting his music as well as I can, and I know there's going to be inaccuracies and stuff. And this final sample, this little this little snippet. The previous track collection play, why is the church taking my money when the church knows I need that money? I'm broke as fuck. I can barely eat. I don't have any food. Why does it feel like I'm praying a little too quietly? It seems like God doesn't hear me. And then you got the sample. I could have prayed the other day. But I'm still in the same predicament, We don't have any food in the house. I woke up, wasn't nothing in the house. There ain't no point in praying. Nothing's changing. And that right there, I'm glad he put that in there. That for me has really kind of blown this whole thing open in the sense of. So one of my favorite movies of all time is No Country for Old Men, and I've talked about this before. I don't know what video. In that movie, if you've never seen that movie, some people find it boring. I find it excellent, but I love the pacing. But towards the end of the movie, the villain character meets up with another character, and the villain got the jump on him. And they're having a little bit of a conversation back and forth. And at one point, the villain asks the other character, who's not necessarily a good guy, but he's just there. They have a history. He asks the other character, if following the rule led you to here, which means basically at the end of my gun, of what use was the rule? Because the idea of having a code or ethics or rules that you follow very much implies that if I follow these rules, I will end up in a certain place, and I want to end up in that place. But if you follow those rules and you don't end up there, of what use was the rule? Because it didn't get you there. And I mentioned that while I'm thinking about a man who has pursued his craft for decades, years easily, over 10 years, has obviously put his heart and soul into it, has obviously cared tremendously about it, has obviously cared about the culture, the art form, the expression, the putting something positive into the world. And probably, I think it's safe to assume, believes that if I do these things and I pursue this, essentially this purity, I will receive a reward probably for that. Most likely. Maybe it's more of I've been taught to believe that I will, receive blessings for following something that's pure, for pursuing something that's pure, for rejecting evil, rejecting money, rejecting temptation. I don't know what his life is like at this point in time, but there seems to be a pretty strong question being asked by Ka. This is incredible. Can't see who's supposed to be here guarding us. Can't see who's supposed to be. Not who is here, who's supposed to be here. The cost of living in this awful prison never afforded me rest. From stock that's poor, as you saw, there's a lot to endure to see success. Afraid there's only scenes of failure in my trailer. Just wanted to be the best. This road is long and arduous. Either froze or exposed a stronger part of us. From a section where weapons is definitely etched in closing arguments. Let's keep going. I kind of went on a good little rant there. Let's just keep going. I don't want to I don't want to ignore this song by not going line by line, but I would like to just proceed forward. Because I feel like I've caught on to an idea, and I want to see if it continues. Oh, this was another one. This was another one, line right here. Lie, plot, steal, or drive Hot Wheels. Still living in the Matchbox. So, Hot Wheels, Matchbox makes Hot Wheels, the toy cars. He's obviously talking about people with their fancy cars because Hot Wheel toy cars are always like really cool, fancy cars, right? But you lie, plot, and steal to get them. But you're still living in a Matchbox, meaning Yeah, you've got this big, fancy, expensive, shiny car, but you live in a shitty house or a shitty apartment. So it looks like you have money, but you're broke as fuck. Great. I loved that section right there. Before you air the gun, don't forget where you're from. Message to the black cops. Oh my God, dude. Let's keep going. This is called God Undefeated. Okay. It's track 7. Drop it in. Here we go. Let me make sure it's at the very start.
It's really sad that people think that you cannot live without believing in God, especially in Black communities.
No battle was light, trying to fight the fast. Believe when we get in the lead, nothing nice can last. No emotions are like the mask. The king to bring in singles, left the righteous path. Over here they riff for many sights of wrath. Goals once thought unattainable, I might surpass. Getting used seduced by science, enticed by math. But you right is rough, and every night's a draft. Took a daughter to brighten his soul. Couldn't slip, but finally got a grip, had to tighten the hole. Migraines from the mind games, fight control. Some boys blading out, violating despite the parole. Skinny as a stick if ain't get quick in frenzies. The gross play the war close, learned that pitching pennies. At born almost fully on, we hit a click of semis. If nervous is in your service, might get hit with friendlies. Indeed a believer, survive to the finish. Go outside with the wind. Indeed a believer, survive to the finish. Go outside with the winners. I came and saw time to conquer. Sprint proponents of low moments. Mine's darker. Stuck with pledge and cutting edge. Line sharper. It's written off years lost, forced to find marker. Wish it was easy just listen to what the Lord say. Had a lot of needs they couldn't feed with a more fuck around, get murked, straight to work, no foreplay. Strong reach the peak, fleece the weak, forte. Fix the glitch, how too rich is all they portray. We diminishing. Another innocent caught straight. My Rican people say indeed though I was pobre. Facts, no dance tracks, swore it wasn't a soiree. Indeed a believer, survive to the finish. Go outside with the winners. Indeed a believer, survive to the finish. Go outside with the winners. Survive to the finish. Wow, man. Go outside with the winners. I'm a believer, survive to the finish. Cause I know go outside with the winners.
One of my favorite classic rock bands is Rush. And Rush made music for 40 years. They made albums. Made it to the Hall of Fame. Legendary drummer, Neil Peart. Legendary drummer. Your favorite drummer's favorite drummer. And early in their career, when they first came out, their solo album, or their self-titled album, Rush, they had a sound that was very similar to Led Zeppelin. Working Man. If you've never heard, well, whatever. Working Man was like they blew up. And then they came out, I think their second album was Fly By Night. And then their third album was Caress of Steel. And Caress of Steel, Fly By Night and Caress of Steel were kind of a little odd, kind of like nerd rock in a sense, back in the 70s, where it's like these fantasy stories about the necromancer, and there's Bytor the snow dog, so they've got like these crazy little stories that they're telling in these very long songs. And when they released Caress of Steel, it was a flop basically. And I love the back half of Caress of Steel, Fountain of Lamneth, and I think it's called The Necromancer. Both songs are like 15 minutes or something like that. And they're just these stories, and they're great. And they're incredible. And the music's incredible, but you can't play that shit on the radio. Don't work. And because it flopped, they had one more record left on their record deal, and they had to make a decision of, what kind of music are we going to make? Do we change direction and do we work on something that's for the radio? Or do we just make what we want to make and whatever, And so they came out with an album called 2112, and it blew up. And 2112, the opener, is like this 18-minute sprawling epic. Basically, they doubled down. They went hard on their sound. They decided who they wanted to be. They stuck to it, and it worked. I tell you that because this album, to me, feels like Ka going all in. I'm all in. This is who I am as an artist. I don't give a shit. I'm facts, not dance tracks. Swore it wasn't a soiree. I don't remember what soiree means, but facts, not dance tracks. I'm all in. I came and saw Time to Conquer. It's for proponents of little moments, minds darker, stuck with pledge cutting ends, lines sharper. Was written off, years lost, forced to find marker. I think by marker, I would assume something like a mile marker or a road marker or like a trail marker. Like, was written off, years lost, kind of forced to find my own path. I assume, I don't know. This shit was easy. Just listen to what the Lord say. Had a lot of needs they couldn't feed with amore. Fuck around, get murked. Go straight to work, no foreplay. Strong reach to peak. Fleece the weak, a forte. Fix the glitch, not too rich. It's all the portray. It's all they portray. I don't know. No battle was light. Trying to fight the fast. Believe when wicked in the lead, nothing nice can last. No emoting emotions I like to mask. I came to bring you singles, left a righteous path. Over here they riff from many sights of wrath. So riff-raff is like, you know, one of my favorite words is hoodlums. Hoodlums. Riff-raff, hoodlums, you know, undesirables, what have you, right? Over here there's riff-raff. But it's from many sights of wrath, which is rage. Goals once thought unattainable, I might surpass. Getting used, deduced by science, enticed by math. Deduced by science, enticed by math. So I wonder if that's numbers like money. Getting used, deduced by science. I wonder what he means by that. But you write this rough, and every night's a draft. You write this rough. So rough draft, obviously. Writing, you write a rough draft. I feel like every night's a draft, as in like maybe a draft beer. And maybe the writing, it's getting rough to write. Like it's hard, it's challenging, it's difficult. And every night's a draft, meaning every night I'm working on this, I'm working on it, I'm working on it. It's another draft, Maybe. Took a daughter to brighten his soul, couldn't slip, but finally got a grip, had to tighten the hole. I wonder what that means, had to tighten the hole. Couldn't slip. I mean, a hole in his heart, perhaps? I don't know on that one. Migraines from the mind games, fight and control. Two boys blatant now violating despite the parole. Skinny as a stick if you ain't get quick with frenzies. To gross, play the war close. Learnt that pinching pennies. So if you're pinching pennies like gross is like your gross income. Play the war close, pinching pennies. This intro too, it's really sad that people think you cannot live without believing in God, especially black people. And I feel like it's essentially saying, you know, there's nothing wrong with believing. Like it's almost the way it was stated felt like an attack on religion, maybe. Indeed a believer, if survived to the finish, God side with the winners. I don't know, let's keep going. This one's called Soul and Spirit. This is track 8. Another 2-minute run. He's got some just quick ones, man, on this album. A couple quick ones. All right, here you go, track 8, Soul and Spirit, produced by Ka.
The rhythm and the beat is secondary. What has made gospel live is the message that the rhythm and the beat carry.
It's soured if you heard it through the grapevine. I K8 display traded K9. Handing nothing, had to take mine. Back in the trap, getting snared is the baseline. And the lesson question is a great sign. Mate was a late fine. Too much at stake to stay calm. Thought I had to settle between federal and state time. Now blessed with pulls, so press my luck. 10th good influence, the rest corrupt. All these dope concerns stressed the buck. True wounds, so I dressed it up. Multiplying dollars at a quicker timetable. Things we was trying fatal, body not weak if the mind able. For a while lost, had to find stable. Greed, feed, evil content, and divine label. Monster in my grave's almost my cradle. Might be equal, but we not the same. To absorb the loss, there's a lot to gain. With pens, I'm pensive, them pretend or pretentious. See, we need bridges, we can build fences. On this plane, more enemies than friendships. Empty empire without my empress. Making sense of it in every sentence. After Boy Hill voyage, not adventurous. Cold sun was no one's apprentice. Is it patience or time wasting? I'm truthful, all they used to is libation. Dark at the start line, mind racing. Few great moves since the migration. Might be equal, but we not the same. To absorb
This is a
loss,
fucking
there's a
killer
lot
track.
to gain.
Man. This is a good one.
Might be
The
equal,
sample
but we
is
not
so
the same. Where you spot less, that spot to blame. That spot to blame.
It just rolls right into the next one. God, I can't wait to listen to this. Just straight. Let's go through some of these lines. The rhythm and beat is secondary. What has made gospel live is the message that the rhythm and the beat carry. It's been soured. Have you heard it through the grapevine? That's so grapes sour. He used sour grapes on Descendants of Cain too, but like sour grapes means if you got sour grapes, you're mad at somebody for something and you won't let it go. You got sour grapes. You're just like upset and you won't forgive them or you won't forget it type of a thing. And then if you hear it through the grapevine, obviously that's like the rumor mill. And the rumor mill can take a fact and shift it around and turn it into something that ain't true because someone's going to put their own opinion on it, their own spin on it. So whatever you hear has been soured. AK-8 display traded K9. I don't know what an AK-8 is. K9 is dog. I think K9 unit. I don't know. I don't really understand that one, but anyway. Handed nothing, had to take mine. Back in the trap. Getting snared is the baseline. So that's a double meaning with instruments, of course, but then getting snared, like you get stuck in it. And then the baseline is like, the starting point, your baseline. So everyone's getting snared, everyone's getting stuck in the trap because you all start there type of thing. So that's a great play on words right there. In a lesson, question is a great sign. Question is a great sign. So basically, like if you're asking questions, that means you're paying attention and you want to learn more. And a question mark is also like a sign, like a symbol type thing. Mate was late fine, too much at stake to stay kind. Mate was a late find. So like a friend, could be a friend or like an actual, like a mate, a sexual partner. Either way that works. A late find, too much at stake to stay kind. So maybe it took him a long time to make friends or find somebody he trusted. Thought I had to settle between federal and state time. Not blessed with polls. Suppressed my luck. I don't know that one. 10th, good influence. The rest corrupt. I don't know what he's referencing there. All these dope concerns stressed the buck. True wounds, I dressed it up. So you dress up a wound, like if you get injured, like I got my arm scratched. You can't really see it, but dirt biking, the brush lashed me. So if you get a wound and you put dressing on it, you patch up your wound, you dress it up. But also like your own emotional wounds, spiritual wounds, maybe you dress them up and make them fancy so that when you tell people about them, type of a thing. Multiplying dollars had a quicker timetable. Things was trying fatal. Body not weak if the mind able. My brother-in-law's got me signed up for a Spartan race. One of those you run through the mud and go over the obstacles and stuff. And it's the 10K version, so I've been running and training and stuff like that. And there was one day I was running. I've been doing about 6.25 miles. I'm running 10K every week. Once a week I just go out and do 10K. And there was one day I was really tired. And I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start singing myself those military marching songs, running songs. And I was just trying to think of silly lines that were rhyming and stuff. And it worked. It took my mind off of the aches and the tired and the pain and stuff like that. And I actually felt better and was able to finish the run without stopping, which was really, really fascinating to experience firsthand. For a while, Allah had to find stable, greed, feed, evil, content, and divine label. Evil content. Sorry, probably content. I feel like this is a stab at the music industry. Moms said my grave's almost my cradle. My grave's almost my cradle. So there's a, with, well, I'll tell you a little tiny bit about what I do for work, but when you deal with hazardous material, there is a phrase called cradle to grave with certain materials, meaning as soon as it's created, like you have to account for it from the very, very, very beginning until the very, 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 very end, even after you're done using it and it's considered waste. So it's called cradle to grave in terms of managing these materials. So I think of that. But Mom said, and if he's a firefighter, he's probably dealt with federal regulations when it comes to waste material, hazardous material, especially if you're fighting fire, you're going into these buildings, these structures that, maybe they've got toxic chemicals and all kinds of stuff. So he's probably familiar with the term cradle to grave in terms of managing hazardous materials. But I don't understand. Mom said, my grave's almost my cradle. I mean, you put your baby in a cradle, obviously. But I don't really understand what that has to do with the grave. I don't know. Interesting. We might be equal, but we're not the same. To absorb loss is a lot to gain. With pens, I'm pensive. Which means, maybe like a little shy if you're a little pensive. You're a little hesitant to speak out. Don't pretend I'm pretentious. This fucking guy, man. Some of these things that he writes down, I have to imagine when he wrote it down, he had a good smile on his face. Oh yeah, that's a good one, See, we need bridges. We can build the fences. I like that line a lot. We need bridges. We need to communicate with each other. On this plane, more enemies than friendships. So it seems like plane and ships is what he's using. More enemies than friends. You could also say, too, like on this plane, on this realm of existence type of a thing. Maybe. Empty empire without my empress. Make a sense of it in every sentence. Well, yeah, that's good, too. Cold times was no one's apprentice. Is it patience or time wasting? I'm true for all they used is all they're used to is libation. Let's keep going. This is a hell of an album. What time are we at? Hour 17 to get through 8 songs. All right, here's track 9, Lord Have Mercy, produced by Ka.
We'd like to just take time out tonight and sing one of the old hymns for you.
I wonder if you would help me.
Oh, I got some piano.
Just sing.
Forte exhausted, can't appear tired. The topic wasn't my optic when I was nearsighted. Found peace in the beast, I can't sleep if here quiet. Get the sever, Nebuchadnezzar, whoever did try it. Could speak and suffer, sleep for supper is a rare diet. The government app won't even suspect when fear riot. No joke, folks spoke like everything near Wyatt. Planned a mighty crown, so think 99 my year high. Saying, Lord have mercy, is all I survey. The thirsty saying, Lord have mercy, is all I survey. The thirsty saying, Lord have past crashed and wrecks, call homes. To reach the next level, some stepped on stones. Getting the game, some dangerous small loans. You know the kids start big heart, chest sore bones. None wanted to see at the table, they only saw thrones. That minimal deal with original, ignore clones. Some get targeted by stick-up artists that draw clones. Will disappear, my hair forever, I never was known. Saying, Lord have mercy, is all I
This is wild.
The thirsty saying, Lord have mercy, is all I survey. Designed from the finest dynasty, went from kush to smoking. Brave was a slave, the grave pushed the ocean. Been fed affection, mistook his potion. Don't heed from the books you read, this ain't the look of chosen. Seems they inner demons seeping, the evil exposing. Shown the touch ain't just lead the erosion. Men of the cloth tend to be lost, need new to be woven. And we need real freedom, stop believing this false. Saying, Lord have mercy, it's all lost of faith.
Wow.
The thirsty saying, Lord have mercy, it's all lost of faith. The thirsty saying, Lord have mercy, it's all the thirsty saying, Lord have mercy, it's all the thirsty saying, Lord have mercy, it's all lost of faith. It's all lost of faith.
This is wild. It just dumps into such devotion. I feel like he's almost like on the verge of going crazy. I just picture, I don't think this is life, but when I listen to something like this, I just picture somebody in a room by themselves, isolated, some candle, like just, almost like a movie where, the person that's slowly losing their mind, I've never heard anything like this. Fought to exhausted, I can't appear tired. That makes me kind of sad right there. Makes me think of Kendrick a little bit. I wonder if Kendrick has ever heard any of this stuff. It would be cool to watch him just like read some lyrics from Ka. That'd be neat if he hadn't heard them before. But I can't appear tired. Sure you can. Sure you can. We get tired, man. It gets hard. It's okay. It's okay to be tired sometimes. It's okay to let people know, hey, I'm getting worn down, man. I need help. This is too much. It's okay. It's okay. The topic wasn't my optic when I was near-sighted. That's a great one. Found peace in the beast. Now can't sleep if I hear quiet. That one's interesting. I wonder if that relates to music. Found peace in the beast. Like he's finally found his own spot in the music industry, and he's found peace in that place. I don't know. Now can't sleep if I hear quiet. That part I don't really know. Get to sever Nebuchadnezzar. And I don't remember what that is. I know that's biblical, but I don't remember what that is. Whoever dare try it. Could speak to suffer, sleep for supper. It's a rare diet. Could speak to suffer. Sleep for supper. Is that like the suffering of going to bed on an empty stomach? Like talking about that? I wonder if that's means. I don't know. The government men only respect when fear riot. No joke, folks spoke like everything near wired. Planned a mighty crime, so thank 99 my year hired. Oh, okay, interesting. I wonder if interesting. I wonder if he was going down the wrong path. He was getting swept up in something, and then he got a job and went, I'm out. I'm going to avoid this nonsense. The thirsty saying, Lord have mercy, is all I survey. Lord have mercy is the thirsty saying. The past crash the Rick's called home. To reach next level, some stepped on stones. Get in the game, some dangerous small loans. The kids start big heart, chests all bones. None wanted to sit at the table. They only saw thrones. Yeah. That minimal day with the rich, ignore clones. Some get target by stick-up artists that draw crones. When disappear my hair forever, I never were known. So I know he's bald. When disappear my hair forever, I never were known. I feel like, is this like, people who are trying to start out as artists? I wonder what stepped on stones. That means. I mean, stepping stones is a thing, obviously, but I wonder what it also means. But, you know, they get in the game with some dangerous small loans. So maybe he's talking about cash advances when you sign your contract. You know, the kids start with big heart, chest all bones. So that, you know, they're young, they're skinny, they just want the money. None wanted to sit at the table. They know something. They want to be, you know, big stars. They don't want to be small stars. That type of thing. That minimal deal with the rich. Ignore clones. Maybe. Maybe. Designed from the finest dynasty, went from Kush to smoking. Okay. Brave was the slave. The grave pushed in ocean. The grave pushed in ocean. I wonder if it's like a reference to slave trades overseas, like the slave ships. The grave pushed in ocean. People dying on the ships. If fed affection mistook his potion. Don't heed from the books you read. This ain't the look of chosen. Seems the inner demon seep into evil exposing. Shown to touch ain't justice, just led to erosion. This line right here I like. Seems the inner demon seep into evil exposing. So like a demon is drawn towards somebody who does evil acts, but the evil acts are only exposing the demon that's inside, and it's almost like a feedback loop. You know, so you have this demon inside that causes you to do something evil, which catches the attention of more evil things that are now drawn to you, and they seep into you. But now your inner demons, I don't know. That's my guess right there. Definitely a guess. Incredible. Let's move on to track 10 called Such Devotion. Produced by Ka. Dropping in.
James,
we're not going to suffer patiently anymore. No more turning the other cheek. No more blessing our enemies.
I wonder who said that.
When you broke, crushing coke, don't take much coaxing. Cooking the roars a foot in the door, trying to bust it open. But dudes ain't making moves. Our views is just commotion. To succeed, you never seen such devotion. To succeed, you never seen such devotion. If it's a bounty, you bound to encounter us approaching. Straight as super narrow, no Cupid's arrow or lover's potion. I start honestly, it's dark comedy, no brothers joking. Aggressive tone for flesh and bone, that's why blood is spoken. That's why. These gardens hardened our heart that was tender. Moms were solid, my earth never shook, not a tremor. Learn not to fall from her, they never call you sir if you surrender. How they dealing, killing us always been the true agenda. It's the public way, another day a new dilemma. Though it's marked if you lost your spark, they can use an ember. Here's how it seem to sell a dream, choose a vendor. I can't be dwindling, can't afford to lose a member. The load that's on these shoulders is much to bear. From a city with battalion of stallions, it's always been fuck the man. As a name evade a few close shaves, they ain't touch your hair. And trust I could hush the bluster, only a sucker dug a fear. Had to shed endless before I sent to this upper tier. I did enough for all of us, hope you never suffered there. Amid never cared where you from, it was rougher here. Got some dirty jeans and early teens, gave me another gear. To succeed, you never seen such devotion. To succeed, you never seen such devotion.
This is wild.
To succeed, you never seen such devotion.
And that's why
it
the
just
white
jumps right back into the next one. This song, I don't know. Like, this song makes me feel like he's just at this point writing strictly for himself. Not that that's bad or not allowed or anything. I'm trying to follow along, and I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. Let's go through the lyrics. We're not going to suffer patiently anymore. No more turning the other cheek. No more blessing our enemies. When you're broke, crushing coke, don't take much coaxing. Oh, when you're broke, crushing coke, don't take much coaching. Right. Sure. If you got no other choice. You've got no other choice. Of course. Let's click the annotation. Coke was also like a fuel for trains, I think, as well. In usual Kaw fashion, he opens the song up with a line about the fact that due to poor personal economic situations, people often turn to criminal activities, in this case, drug dealing. Obviously, crushing coke is a metaphor for the process of cutting the product or turning it into a different drug. This line also features some really pleasant alliteration. Broke, crushing, coke, coaxing. Sure. Okay. Cooking the raw is a foot in the door, trying to bust it open. But dudes ain't making a move. Our views is just commotion. To succeed, you'd never seen such devotion. If it's a bounty, you're bound to encounter us approaching. Straight or super narrow, no Cupid's arrow or lover's potion. So I feel like if it's a bounty, like if there's a hit on you, if there's money on your head, you're bound to encounter. We're coming for you, and doesn't matter if you're straight. Doesn't matter if straight or super narrow. I don't really understand the super narrow, but no Cupid's arrow, lover's potion, like that. You can't talk away out of it. We're not gonna be friends with you. Maybe I don't know. I feel like I'm screwing that all up, honestly. Our start, honestly, is dark comedy. No brothers joking. Aggressive tone for flesh and bone. That's why blood is spoken. These gardens hardened a heart that was tender. Mom's a solid earth, never shook, not a tremor. So these gardens, I feel like, this environment, this area, hardened a heart. Learn not to fall from her. They never call you sir if you surrender. So you can never surrender. If you want respect, you can never surrender. How they're dealing, killing us, always been the true agenda. It's the public way, another day, a new dilemma. I wonder what that means. I wonder if this means like our always being distracted by something new. I feel like that happens often. Here's this new thing to be upset about. Here's this new thing to worry about. But in doing so, we forget about all the other problems. So it's never addressed the actual problems. We just move from one to the other like a carousel. Thoughts marked if you lost your spark and could use an ember. So you use an ember to start a flame, start a fire, get burning. Thoughts marked if you lost your spark. Losing your spark means you've lost your edge, your skill, you're not good at it anymore, type of a thing. Or maybe like the creative spark, creative juices. But thoughts marked, I don't really understand. Here zealots seem to sell a dream. Choose a vendor. All these different sides that you can buy bullshit from, right? My Ken been dwindling, can't afford to lose a member. The load that is on these shoulders is much to bear. This is something I'm noticing about this guy too, man. He's really put himself into a position of where it feels like it's up to him, or it's his mission. It's his life's goal. He has to do this thing of spread this message, which isn't bad in its own right, but he's putting a lot of pressure on himself. And I had to sneeze. One more? Yeah, no, one more. Okay. Am I back on? Yeah, okay. From a city with battalions of stallions, it's always been fuck the bear. So I wonder if that's like, I think battalions of stallions, I always think of like the cities that still have the old school fire wagon, and they come out with the big horses and pull them out. So who knows? I wonder if Jersey or New York or Brooklyn is where he's from, right? I don't know if that's what he's talking about, but as a knave evade a few close shaves, ain't touch a hair. So close shave, it almost happens, ain't touch a hair, but what's a knave? I forget what a knave is. Close shave being close call, yeah. Although it is funny because he is bald. They got a picture of him all bald. Trust I can hush the blustler. Only a sucker duck affair. Had to shed endless before I ascended to this upper tier. Had to shed endless before I ascended to this upper tier. Shed is a specific word because like I think of snakes, right? They shed their skin, and you shed your skin. Snakes shed their skin when they're growing. So if you're shedding endlessly, you're growing endlessly. I had to shed endlessly before I ascended to this upper tier. So he had to grow and grow and grow, probably as a person, to get to this upper tier, which I would assume is his art, his music that he's making. But also, too, shedding something means getting rid of something. So it could also imply, the idea of getting rid of all kinds of other things as well. Not just growth, but getting rid of stuff to get to this point. I did enough for us all. Hope you never suffered, dear. Admit, never care where you came from. It was rougher here. Guess some dirty jeans in early teens gave me another gear. I feel like gave me another gear is like both for drive, like I've got another gear that I can shift into, so I can go faster, I can go farther type of thing, but also, a gear to grind. So the dirty jeans it gave me another gear to like grind, like another thing to be upset about. That's why I don't care where you're from. It was rougher where I lived. I've got more gears to grind than you do. I feel like that's what that means. Such devotion. Okay, let's keep going. This is called Cross You Bear, and I think it rolled into the beginning, but let me zip it around here. This is track 11. Drop it in. Produced by Ka.
And that's why the white church, unfortunately, went along with slavery, went along with segregation, went along with lynching.
On here like War Christ or Good Life, this nigga played us some jewels. Was poured in, so almost bought in. Sick of paying the dues. Now too eviscerating the blues, participate in the rules. In your pockets deep and rock to sleep, they wait till you snooze. When every fight is a black night, this ain't the day that I lose. I'm from blown all out of proportion, no way to diffuse. Catch a hole over something old, and later it's snooze. My hardship keep the arts lit with science, the fate of a muse. Just state my truths. They dirty birds, I'm impeccable. A nod to God, but a large part is ancestral. Still trying to heal, so every meal start with vegetables. Stay on the shelf between selfless and what's best for you. Hope the sacrifice match the vice. Hope the sacrifice match the vice. Speak thoughts sincere to spare the soul. I pray every cross you bear is gold. Full of rage, trying to act alarm. Not acknowledged on the side of knowledge if don't pass it on. Ranked as anchor, hold my hand baton with a passion gone. Take the slave name to the grave, I'm in the last stage spawn. Discreet, not enough physique to have a leech latching on. For years only snacking on what I could catch and palm. With me the opponent in the heat of moment, none match the calm.
This production is
fewer friendship,
fantastic.
True death can't detach the bomb.
It's almost like a friend.
Packs, all I spoke was dope, but no tracks can harm. While the fools choose illusion, top hat magic wand. Oppress only address how blacks respond. Here the deceivers can't believe in their Jesus, that's a blonde.
You can have it. As far as we're concerned, your Jesus is contaminated.
Hope the sacrifice match the vice.
Your religion means nothing.
Hope the sacrifice match the vice. Speak thoughts sincere to spare the soul. I pray every cross you bear is gold. Gold. Pray every cross you bear is gold.
One of these days.
Like everything else you tried to force upon us is contaminated.
Let the church say amen.
This is incredible. I mean, I do feel like he's just going all out. I'm all in. This is who I am. This is the art that I make. This is what I care about. I'm all in. Like no more like trying to maybe toe a certain line or anything like that. Like no, it's almost like it's personal now. But again, his other albums, this guy is so raw and open. I feel like, well, maybe not raw necessarily. He's not necessarily raw. When I think raw, I think somebody like Extentation or something like that who just belts it out. It's different. All hail, like Wall Christ thought good life was people plating some jewels. Was poured in, almost bought in, sick of paying the dues. I don't understand that first line. All hail, like Wall Christ. All hail like wall Christ. So maybe like a crucifix, a wall Christ, a crucifix on the wall. Thought good life was person plating some jewels. I don't know. Now to eviscerating the booths, participating in the rules, and your pockets deep if rock asleep. They wait till you snooze. I don't know. I can kind of get some of the wordplay there. Like if you're asleep, snooze button, rock asleep, it helps you. You can fall asleep. If rock asleep, maybe your pockets are deep. You don't need to sell rock anymore, so you can sleep. I don't know. But then they wait till you snooze. I don't know. When every fighter's a black knight, this ain't the day that I lose. I'm for blowing out all of proportion, no way to diffuse. So to diffuse something, you can diffuse a bomb so it doesn't explode. For blowing all out of proportion. But also too, like you can diffuse light so that it's not so intense in one area, it's more evenly dispersed. So maybe you could do that with things that are blowing out of proportion. I don't know. But the diffuse a bomb makes the most sense. Catch a hole over something old, then later it's news. Oh, okay. Catch a hole over something else. So someone's got a grudge or something happened, you get shot, and then it turns into news. My hardship keep the arts lit with science, the fate of a muse. I wonder what the deal is with science. This is a couple times like there was another line, deduced by science. Just stating my truths. So his hardships are keeping his art alive. The dirty birds, I'm impeccable, a nod to God, but in large part it's ancestral. Still trying to heal, so every meal start with vegetables. Stay on the shelf between selfless and what's best for you. Stay on the shelf between selfless and what's best for you. So try not to be, don't give everything away. But at the same time, don't only think about yourself. Hope the sacrifice match the vice. Hope the sacrifice match the vice. It almost feels like balance. Like I hope you give good deeds and you sacrifice your time and you don't take things for yourself as often as you indulge in your vices. Maybe. Speak thoughts sincere to spare the soul. I pray every cross you bear is gold. Full of rage, trying to act salam, and I don't remember what that means. Salam, not acknowledged on the side of knowledge. If don't pass it on. Not acknowledged on the side of knowledge. If don't pass it on. I feel like I understand what he's trying to say. I don't get how he's saying it. Like you're not acknowledged on the side. Like wisdom, if wisdom's only useful and you're only known as being wise if you pass on your own wisdom. Like basically, if you don't speak wisdom to other people, they'll never know that you were wise to begin with, and so you won't be acknowledged for your wisdom because you never passed it on. What's the point, honestly? So I think that's what he's saying there. Ranked as anchor, who will I hand baton when the passion gone? Ranked as anchor. So an anchor is like something that holds you down, holds you in place. Who will I hand the baton? And when you pass a baton on to the next person, right? When the passion's gone. Interesting. Take the slave name to the grave. I'm the last age spawn. So does he not have kids? I wonder. I don't know. Discreet, not enough physique to have a leech latching on. I like that too. Discreet. So, he's not flashy. So he doesn't have any people trying to feed off of him like a leech, basically. Not enough physique. But like a leech, sucks blood. And so a leech would probably be drawn toward someone who's big and beefy, right? Rather than someone who's a little skinny and thin. Although I don't think that's how leeches work anyway. But, it's just, obviously it's just a phrase. For years only snacking on what I can catch in palm. Would meet opponent in heat of moment. Nothing matched the calm. For a few friendships true, death can't detach the bond. Yeah, that's a good line too. Made a pact, all I spoke was dope, but no tracks could harm. Okay, that's a fun one too. You know, his lines, his lyrics are dope, they're fire. But it isn't the kind of dope that can harm somebody. It's all good stuff. It said, while the fools choose illusion, top that magic wand. That's great too, because obviously a reference to a magician, but also it's an illusion, it's fake, all that kind of stuff. It's a trick, you know, magic trick. Oppress the press only, address how blacks respond. That's a great fucking line. Great line, right? People lash out and do things because of what's happening to them, but then, oh, did you hear so-and-so lashed out? Oh, rather than drawing attention to the reason why they lashed out, you know, that's pretty good. Here the deceivers can't believe in their Jesus. That's a blonde. Blonde Jesus, even though he's Middle Eastern, so clearly he would not be a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus. Let's keep going. I'm thinking at this point, you know, I'm not necessarily worried about time, but at this point, I don't know if I'm going to bother with the music videos. There's only 2. This is taking a lot of work. There's 3 more tracks. Fragile Faith is track 12. Let's drop in. Produced by Ka. Fragile Faith.
Still got some giving bells to take.
Oh wait, did I not? Hold on. I think I screwed this up. Let me start it from the beginning.
Still got some giving bells to take. Like mine, hoping the right time, the talent's waiting.
His production's been so unique on this album.
Watched by dicey snake eyes. Pray you had better luck in the sewer listening to the ruler. Hoping I measure up. Placed in many sticky situations but was never stuck. I've been tried, hoping inside when the gates of heaven shut.
Wow, man.
From woes rose above the decay. Trying to heal to the 7th seal. Some bludgeon away. Where hate plaguers gave the naysayers nothing to say. When progression couldn't show affection. No public display. Since release treated like the least favorite. Wanted all the jewels. Just wouldn't choose police bracelets. Before accounts should be doubtful, don't speak if they seek statement. In this game, might not attain, but at least chased it. Only in bed indispensable, not a sheet wasted. For wretched 10 at epicenter, or street adjacent. Hear what you hear holy, what you see sacred. Blood righteous, love priceless, where's free hatred? Ain't nothing sugar about me but my faith. Couple 100 years asking, nothing kept us safe.
Wow.
Ain't nothing shook about me but my faith. Still do us the same. We in the same place. Dial of documents not filled with ops and opulence. Moms for my populace. Living through apocalypse. They say I'll bring you down. I want you on top of this. If ain't moving the needle to inoculate, you just innocuous. Scan for evil, got some stand-up people I sit down for. The others are loved ones, just wish I was around more. Sure I was born air, prepared for ground war. Yes, invested in the gutter, got it on the ground floor. Came the rain, cause we been downpour.
Downpour, rain.
Ain't nothing shook about me but my faith. Couple 100 years asking, nothing kept us safe. Ain't nothing shook about me but my faith. Still do us the same if we in the same place. Ain't nothing shook about me but my faith. We in the same
production.
I feel
I mean,
like
we're
we've
basically
been into religion for so many years and we're still at the bottom. It's time to change.
it's like we've moved out of hip hop and into the blues, man. Just almost straight up blues. Let's go through this one. This is a great opening line. Watched by dicey snake eyes, right? Snake eyes on dice. If you roll, 2 1s, it's snake eyes. Pray you have better luck. If you roll snake eyes, that's bad luck. At least for crabs. In the sewer, listening to the ruler, right? So I'm down on the sewer. Here's the ruler. Hoping I measure up, because you measure with the ruler. Placed in many situations, but never stuck. I've been tried. Hope I'm inside. When the gates of heaven shut. From woes, rose above the decay, trying to heal to the 7th seal. I think that's has to do with the book of Revelation, the angels, and they blow the horns and the different seals. I just don't remember what the seventh seal is. I don't remember hardly any of it, honestly. Some bludgeoned away where hate, plague, escape naysayers. Nothing to say. Where hate, plague, escape naysayers. Nothing to say. So if you're a naysayer, you're always, no, we can't do this, and no, but nothing to say. Now you can't naysay because you've got nothing to say. Or hate, plague, escape. I don't know. My brain's starting to mush. I've been going through a lot of lyrics. The brain is really starting to shut down a bit. Where progression couldn't show affection. No public display. So no public displays of affection, right? That's a common thing. But progression couldn't show affection. And there's no public display. So the progression, you can't see it. And the progression doesn't show any affection toward you, I suppose. I guess. I don't know. Or maybe the public isn't showing affection toward this display of progression. Maybe that's what he's saying. Since release, treated like the least favorite. Wanted all the jewels, just wouldn't choose police bracelets. Before counsel, this is a great line. Before counsel, be doubtful. Don't speak if they seek statement. So that, like, before counsel would be like before your lawyer gets there, don't fucking open your mouth. Don't give a statement. But I feel like there's a double meaning there. I almost had it and then it disappeared. My brain is collapsing in on itself. Before counsel. So like before your lawyer gets there, but also if you're before counsel, like you're sitting in the courtroom, you're with them. Be doubtful. Don't speak if they seek statement. Why are you dying over there?
I tried to inhale chocolate.
Oh, my wife is breathing chocolate over there and therefore dying. Please.
Not successfully.
Please stop dying during my video. You know how rude to die during my video. Ugh.
I did it. I'm not breathing chocolate.
Isn't it funny how sometimes, we sit down to eat food or drink something and we just do it wrong and like try and put it in our lungs somehow. Then you have to cough for a minute straight. In this game, might not attain, but at least chased it. Yeah. I kind of feel for this guy, man. It's tough. Like I said, I think yesterday during the Descendants of Cain reaction, I was just talking about how I wish it weren't so imbalanced, how there's some artists that just have all the money and all the fans and all that, right? And then there's artists that are equally as good and they just don't have anything for some reason. Like, it's just weird how that works. And of course, there's a whole industry behind it, and there's marketing, and there's like social momentum where, a thing becomes cool because it's cool. So everybody says it's cool because it's cool. That's all things. And I'm not like trying to complain or anything about that. It's just, it is how it is. But I feel for these guys, especially somebody like Ka, who's just been doing it for so long, obviously putting in all the effort. And just like, God, man, you want to believe, that's always the idea. Like, if you put in hard work and you try your best and blah, blah, you'll get there. But that's not true. It's not guaranteed, especially, with competitive sports, but with anything. You can try your best. You can work hard. You can be excellent at what you do, and just for whatever reason, sometimes it don't work out. And that's just it. It's weird. It's very weird. And I mean, I think about some friends that I have who I'm kind of shifted over into a work lane. There's friends that I know who I've worked with. One guy who I met in the Navy, but there's been other people too who I've worked with where it's like they work their ass off. They do excellent jobs. And for some reason, they just get shit on. And I feel like there are these people who I've worked with who do a better job than me. Not that I do a bad job. I try and do a good job, and I put in some effort as well. But I'm not doing what they're doing. Yet, somehow I move up, and they don't. And it's so weird. And it's so weird, man. Anyway. Anyway, I don't really know what the point of that rant was, but other than just to say, I feel like sometimes I feel like this whole, if you work hard and you try hard and you go and blah, 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 sometimes it almost comes off as propaganda because it ain't guaranteed. The outcome is not guaranteed. Now, however, I do think it's still very important. Pursue what you love. Pursue what you love. Do that thing, but don't worry about the outcome. Do it because you love it. Do it because you enjoy it. It brings, fullness to your life. It enriches your life. And if there's additional benefits, like money, fame, whatever it is that you're doing, then that's the bonus. But do it for yourself. Because if you're chasing these things, numbers and attention and whatever, often those goals just keep shifting, right? Like look at YouTube's a great example, right? Oh, I got 10,000 subscribers. Oh man, I got 20,000. Now I want to get to 50. Now I want to get to 100,000. I can get my plaque. Ooh, I want to get to 500,000. It never stops. It never stops, the numbers, So do it because you love it. That's another reason why I wanted to sit down with Ka. I know nobody's going to watch these. I don't care. I wanted to sit down with Ka. I wanted to listen to his music. That's all there is to it. It don't matter that a video, this will probably get like 4,000 views or some shit. It don't matter. This is what I enjoy. This. Ain't nothing shook about me but my faith. Couple 100 years asking, nothing kept us safe. That's a hard one. That's a hard one, man. And two, it's hard obviously because if your faith is being shook, that's a difficult situation to be in. But more so, if the argument that is shaking your faith is sound, it's even harder, right? A couple 100 years asking, nothing's kept us safe. After a while, you start to think, a lot of these little samples that have been dropped in here, this outro, I feel like if we've been into religion for so many years and we're still at the bottom, it's time to change. Clearly something isn't working, right? Man, I love this line. Scan for evil, got some stand-up people I sit down for. I love that line too. That's a good one. Let's keep going. There's 2 more tracks. This is called Hymm and I, which is already a play on words. This is track 13. Drop it in. Produced by Ka.
I've heard so many Christians use the word nigger.
For the benefit of those of you that know.
I think that if the church could have waited 350 years to preach true Christianity, as far as I'm concerned, the church can wait forever.
Every day just gathering strength. Build a shield and really deal with the next tragic event. Advanced lines about the last times I had to relent. Since conceived, believed some things, it's too bad to repent. Was charmed, had a moms to rejoice, dad to resent. Knew it was all about $1 before I gathered a cent. Move reasonably, could easily be on the avenue tent. I couldn't cry, that's all I had to lament. Then thought I'd meet my Aunt Valen in the street. Change lifestyle, how I'm living right now, I'ma die in my sleep. What I wanna earn from this journey is deriving my peak. I set small goals for myself, like surviving this week. Many disciples beating their Bibles. Jesus, we need leaders with rifles. Many followers loving the songs. Got us powerless. Need some good brothers that's armed. Keep my mind fresh and less in the day. I pray my people stay with me each step of the way. Peace and rival and got a battle and best in the fray. It's been touched, I don't trust what they testament say. For me, hugs from loved ones keep depression at bay. Hard shooting buckets without $2, too much pressure to play. I pack in sight in black and white, dressed in the gray. Shining this baby, only shady one less in my ray.
That's a great
one. Mistaken son is made, it's that drastic. Too many systematic dangers to be aimless and haphazard. The mask came for the fast lane, some sad traffic. Don't act hard, then when acts spar back to flaccid. You learn heartbreak from the most loyal. It was fucked from the start, whole life was post-coital. Always had doubt I sprout through that cold soil. Then felt the heart of that melting pot, so royal. These youthful eyes saw us brutalized and saw pride. Hard navigating being from the lost tribe. Many disciples reading their Bibles. Jesus, we need leaders with rifles. Many followers loving his songs. God is powerless. Need some good brothers that's armed.
Got sense enough to know that you're lost. That's right. And you need to be found. That's right.
Nobody but
I know I've been killing the transition between every track, and I apologize. I'm just basically just trying to go through each track without stopping. It's going to be great listening to this uninterrupted. It's going to be relentless. It's going to be a completely different experience. Something I feel like I'm finally picking up on that I probably should have picked up on a long time ago is, I think I'm mistaken about it's his, his faith, but it's more the difference between the church and religion. Like religion and faith are two different things. I feel like that's what's going on here, which if that's true, I hope that's true in the sense of his faith not being, his belief in God remaining strong and the same, but just losing faith in the church, because that's more of an entity, more of a structure, more of a human thing than a spiritual tie. Still upsetting, obviously, but there you go. Every day just gathering strength, build a shield to really deal with the next tragic event. Advanced lines about the last times I had to relent. Since conceived, believed some things was too bad to repent. That's a tough one. Believe some things was too bad to repent. I can't even ask forgiveness for it. It's too awful. And that's feeling that it's so awful that it would almost be wrong to ask for forgiveness, I suppose. That's rough. Was charmed, had a moms to rejoice, dad to resent. I knew it was all about $1 before I gathered a cent. Reasonably could easily be on the Ave in a tent, so homeless. Ca couldn't cry, so I had to lament. Right, I had to lament. Had to say it in a fancy way. But what's great too is, Ca couldn't cry, so I had to lament. In a way, he's also saying my writing is what allowed me to express these feelings and get it out, which is great. Then thought I'd meet my end, violent in the street, change lifestyle. How I'm living now, I'm going to die in my sleep. I hope that's what happened for his sake. And while I would like to know, I also don't want to pry. So hopefully he went peacefully. What I want to earn from this journey is to arrive at my peak, not their peak, not society's peak, not fame's peak, my peak. Assess more goals for myself, like surviving is weak, which is fantastic, right? And it ties in really well with this change in lifestyle, where at one point he's just trying to survive, rightfully so. But then if he gets beyond that, and he did, now I'm going to assess, I don't have to, just surviving is now weak in the sense of I can survive now, I'm fine now. So if I stopped pushing myself, if I stopped creating more goals for me to strive through, that would be weak. It's essentially like I gave up, But now it's almost like I have an opportunity to push myself further. It would be weak to not push myself further. Many disciples beating their Bibles, Jesus, we need leaders with rifles. Many followers loving the Psalms, God is powerless. Need some good brothers that's armed. Keep my mind fresh, a lesson a day. I pray my people stay with me every step of the way. If peace unraveled and gotta go battle, I'm best in a fray. It's been touched, so don't trust what their testaments say. I wonder what that, I feel like there was that sample earlier about God has been contaminated or the church has been contaminated or something like that. So I wonder if that's what it means, is it's been touched, it's been tampered with, it's been contaminated. So don't trust their testaments. Don't trust what they say. Like they're just trying to manipulate you or whatever. For me, hugs from loved ones keeps depression at bay, which is beautiful. Hard shooting buckets without $2. Yeah, so bucks. You have to have $2. But there's only $1 in buckets. Or although, no, maybe if there's buckets, it's plural, so you have to have at least $2 to have buckets. Or 2 buckets. Anyway, I don't really get it. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying. Too much pressure to play. I don't know. I pack insight in black and white. I love this one. I pack insight in black and white, right, which is the lettering here, addressing the gray. So insight to understanding these gray areas, these things that are not clear, they're not clearly spelled out, explained, etc. So that's great. Shining since baby, only shady one lesson my ray. Only shady one lessens my ray. So he's shining, like shining your light, I suppose. Only shady one lessens my ray. So his brightness is only diminished, lessened, like a ray, like a beam of light. Only shade, I don't know. I feel like I'm close, but I'm fucking it up. One mistake in son, it's mate, it's that drastic. So mate is checkmate. And this one, if you make a mistake, it's checkmate, it's over, it's that drastic. Too many systematic dangers to be aimless and haphazard. Yeah, that's good. The mass came for the fast lane, some sat in traffic. The mass came for the fast lane, some sat in traffic. Don't act hard. This was a great one too. Don't act hard then when asked to spar, back to flaccid. That was a great line. Great line. You learn heartbreak from the most loyal. It was fucked from the start. Whole life was post-coital. So coitus is sex. So if it's fucked from the start, that means you started after, which is post-coital. I always had doubt I'd sprout through that cold soil, then felt the hot of that melting pot so boiled. Useful eyes saw us brutalized and sought pride, hard navigating being from the lowest tribe. Final track, True Holy Water. This is track 15. Final song released by Ka. Drop it in, track 14.
Into the 14th chapter.
Let me turn my back on him. It's piss poor. Went from locking Discord to keynote. With a lead quote, the gift of proficiency to listen when he spoke. I believe they'll dope forever, it's never what greed wrote.
What's with the scream?
10 seconds appear to full gear. Who's there when they need hope? Won't find denier, can't quiet in the fire that we stoke. No folly, believe highly. If I didn't, it'll probably be smoke. For me, you never see glow. My stains remain, can't pre-soak. Same party bars, just get you party charged and revoke. I'm here for you. Swear blood, shed tear for you.
God, this is crazy.
I'm here for you. Swear blood, shed tear for you. Stay fluid through it. And the cracks I spill true. It's about to take so if can't exploit the subjugate, they kill you. Simple and plain, it's link in the chain. Something they still do. The house brought me down. Had 6 sounds and an ill view. Too much stakes, once I have my cake, I will chew. Here's the deal. You try to steal green and steal blue. I'm thrilled. It's only a bill to a real
This
few.
is like unsettling.
I speak a bit of loss, and once I get it off, I feel new. How I was born to pen bars. Not sure if these songs are memoirs. From a lab of dust, ain't have much. We're gonna defend ours. I love lie. Mentioned this shit in school, we pulled through with 10 cars. If one of them dead said they waiting on your order, just tell them men march. I made it staying hydrated, but back then parched. Chain to play town straight up and down. They handed me they sent arch. Might not have been dying for mine, if one place would have been starch. Hair turning gray, still trying to learn the way all the grim parts.
This is the craziest song I've heard. Been a while.
Hey yo, I'm here for you. I sweat blood, shed tear for you. I'm here for you, man, I'm here for you. Sweat, blood, shed tear for you.
You get broadcast on the radio, but this is the reward. We're not asking for glory, we're not asking for publicity and fame, but to see our own boys and girls be able to stay in school and make something good. That within itself is enough reward.
I don't know what to think about that one. That was a rough listen right there. That sample, the screaming, odd. Was piss poor, went from locked in Discord to keynote. Locked in Discord to keynote. So a keynote would be like a keynote speaker, like you're giving speeches in front of people. Locked in Discord. I forget what Discord means. I forget what that means. With the lead quote, the gift of the officials, the list of who we ain't spoke. The gift of the officials, the list of who we ain't spoke. It's like somebody speaking for you who isn't, they don't represent you, I guess. I believe Deal Dope Forever is never what really wrote. Within seconds appeared in full gear, was there when he need hope. Won't find an aisle, can't quiet in the fire that we stoked. No folly, you'd be in holly. If I did, then I'd probably be smoke. For me, you never see gloat. My stains remain, can't pre-soak. I like that. With that, I get that makes sense. If you get a stain in your clothes, if you pre-soak it, it helps get the stain out. You can't get these stains out. This ain't party bars. Get your parlay charged and revoked. Get your parlay charged. I don't know about that, but yeah, this ain't party bars. This song's wild, man. Stay floored through it in the crack. I split true. It's about to take. If can't exploit a subjugate, they kill you. Simple and plains, link in the chain. Some of them still do. The house brought me down. Had 6 sounds in the ill view. I don't know. Too much at stake. Someone should have my cake. I will chew. I don't know. I don't know. The song's wild. Here's the deal. If you're trying to steal green, the steal blue. That makes sense. So green and blue, different colors, but green is money. Blue as in the steel blew out a bullet. It blew. They're shooting a gun because you're stealing my money. I'm thrilled because I only appeal to a real few. I speak a bitter loss, and once I get it off, I feel new. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I feel new. House born to pimp bars. Not sure if these songs are memoirs. From a lab of dust. Ain't have much. We're going to defend ours. I love lie. Mentioned issue in school. We pull through with 10 cars. If one I'm dead, sitting, waiting on your order, just tell your man march. I made it stand unhydrated, but back then parched. And then these lyrics are questioned. Standing plate, town straight up and down. Ain't handing me their sin arch. I couldn't really make out exactly what was being said there either. Might not have been dying for mine if one equates. Would have been starch. Hair turned to gray, still trying to learn away all the grim parts. Fuck, man. I don't know about that last one. That one was kind of that's a bit of a curveball. True holy water. What I don't understand is the screaming. I was thinking like, what if it's holy water like that's being thrown on someone that's possessed or something, and like in the horror movies it burns and all that stuff and they're screaming. So I don't know. Fuck, I don't know about that one. I don't know. I'm not gonna do the music videos. I don't want to. I'm kind of wiped out. That was a lot to take in. Something different with this one, man. Very, like I said earlier, I just feel like he just went all in. I'm not gonna play around anymore. I'm not gonna pretend. I'm not gonna make it cute. Not that he really did that before, but it just feels like 100% buy-in of him in believing in how he wants to create his music, share his message, so on. This just feels like pure Ka, basically. I think still my favorite song is Collection Plate. I'm gonna listen to it again right now after this. I'm gonna have my wife sit down and listen to it. Actually, I was gonna ask her to come like do a reaction to it, but I was like, no, I'll let her enjoy it at her own pace. Man, I don't really know what to say, honestly. I feel like I've not like gone through his life or anything like that, but I feel like, well, hell, he might actually like this. I feel like I've heard his message. I feel like going through these lyrics like this and really trying to hear it, trying to understand it, trying to break it apart, catch the double meanings. I feel like I've heard a man express himself very, very truly. And I don't really feel any like necessarily like a strong emotion. But sometimes when you get to have a conversation with somebody and for whatever reason it works out that maybe, it's kind of an intimate conversation. It's just you and this other person and maybe you don't know them that well. And the scenario works out where, you just get to sit and talk. And each person listens to the other and maybe it turns out that the one person talks for a while and you just sit there and listen and you go, I learned about this person today. Something that you never had before. And now you kind of know, and not to say I know Ka or anything like that, but that's the experience I felt like I just had. Someone shared with me and I got to hear it. And it's weird, right? In this age where there's just anything, the information age, I call it the misinformation age now. I think we're way past the information age. It still seems like it feels rare where it can happen, where you can actually sit with a person and get to know them in a sense. And have them share something with you where you go, wow, that was, real. When there's just, at the same time, online, you could probably find everybody's like life history if you wanted to, but it also at the same time doesn't seem real, He's a different man. He's one of a kind. One of a kind. But there's been some lines in here I think, MF Doom would have really liked that one. Oh, Kendrick probably would have liked that one. Hopefully it's a lot of people would like this type of writing. Okay, yeah. It's not even really a time thing. I just feel like it's almost like having a meal. I don't want to do the music videos. I don't want to keep eating. I've been fed. I feel full. So I'm going to stop here. Tomorrow I'm going to do, I think it's called Orpheus versus the Sirens, which was Hermit and the Recluse or something. It's Ka. I think it's his some other pseudonym or whatever, artist name. I'll do that tomorrow. Okay, y'all. Take care.